Welcome to the Northwest Sports Fanatics YouTube channel. I am your host, Orion. I got a great show for you here today between the Seattle Mariners versus the St. Louis Cardinals. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 5 minutes, so let's cue up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineups. Happy Friday, everyone. On the left, the best catcher in the game, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And on the right, left fielder for the St. Louis Cardinals, Jose Fermin. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, catching today for Seattle, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, who's homered in 3 straight games. Can he make it number 4 here tonight? We hope so. Batting third, center fielder, who's been hot as of late, Julio Rodriguez. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, first baseman, it's Nails, Josh Naylor. Game-winning RBI, and it's the first time that Cal, Julio, and Naylor have gotten consecutive hits in a game, only for the third time in quite some time, and the 2 other times they did it was in the first inning, and this last game that we needed a desperate win against the A's, they do it in the 9th, and it gets us a victory. Shout out to Nails and Josh Naylor. Batting fifth, playing left field, Randy Arozarena. Batting sixth, playing right field, Luke Raley. Batting seventh, DHing for Seattle, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting eighth, playing second base for Seattle, Cole Young. And batting ninth, playing third base, Leo Rivas. And on the mound for the Mariners, one of our aces, 3-2 record, ERA of 2.97. It is Furious George Kirby. And now let's get into the starting lineups for the home St. Louis Cardinals. Leading off for the Cardinals at second base, up-and-coming stud, J.J. Weatherholt. Batting second, catching today for St. Louis, Ivan Herrera. Batting third, playing first base, Alec Burleson. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, right fielder, off to a very hot start to start off the year with 8 home runs, Jordan Walker. Batting fifth, DHing today for the Cardinals, Nolan Gorman. Batting sixth, playing shortstop for the Lou, Mason Wynn. Batting seventh, playing center field, Nathan Church. Batting eighth, playing third base, Ramon Urias. And batting ninth, playing left field, Jose Fermin. And on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals, with a 2-1 record, an ERA of 4.05, it is Andre Alante. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We're going to be shooting for 100 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. 46 subs away from 23,900, 146 to get to 24,000. Let's get it, baby. We're getting very close to approaching 6 million views on the channel as well. Now, we know we are the worst team on the road so far to start off in this 2026 season, but we hopefully can get a little bit of rhythm going here this afternoon. And then obviously after today, we got 2 early games on at roughly 11:15 a.m. Pacific on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm not really sure how we're going to play early in the morning after having an evening start, but we'll find out if George Kirby can get the job done today. Michelle in the building, what's good? Daniel in the building, what's good? And I just got to get everything situated here. Give me a moment. Make sure all my screens are lined up. Andre Palante on the mound, and JP Crawford in the box. Excuse me. 50th anniversary for the Seattle Mariners and 40 plus years on the radio, retiring after this season. Rick Riz, one of the best in the business to ever do it. We're obviously dedicating the year to him, and obviously someone else in baseball heaven, Dave Niehaus. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. We got to find a way to be able to get the offense to get going. Now, we know the defense and the pitching on the road have been pretty good overall, but we just couldn't hit, and that obviously was all prior to the Houston Astros series, where we finally got a sweep, aka a mop when you win 4 games in a row, sweep when you win 3. That's what Rick Riz says. And again, ever since the Houston series, the bats have come alive, and we definitely have seen more production out of Cal, Julio, and Naylor together. And if we're going to have any chance in this series against the Cardinals, we obviously know the National League Central is insane as far as win-loss record this year. A lot of parity in that division. And again, it's not going to be easy, but hopefully we can get the bats going here early and often. All right, first pitch there by Andre Palante to JP Crawford, low and at the knees, 1-0 count. JP Crawford in the box. Andre Palante on the mound. One 0 pitch. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 ball and 1 strike with nobody on and no outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Mariners and the Cardinals. 1-1 pitch, high and inside. Palante definitely has a very unique delivery. We haven't seen anyone pitch like him, and the type of kind of style, on the mound, and the way that he delivers those pitches to the catcher, but we'll have to get used to it. Knuckle curve obviously was high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike to JP Crawford. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Palante. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early between the Cardinals and the Mariners. 2-2 pitch to JP. Good patience so far here in the box. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Andre Palante to JP Crawford. Let's see if JP can get a single or force a walk. Come on, JP. Got to get guys on base early and often within the first 3 innings. 3-2 pitch, high and away, and a great start here for the Mariners with JP Crawford getting on first base, just as good as a single. We'll take the 6-pitch walk, and again, hopefully we'll be able to steal some bags, bunt a few times, get a little bit of small ball, but we definitely are going to need the home run ball to come alive, hopefully 2 or 3 times here this afternoon/evening. Next up, with home runs in 3 consecutive games, it's the catcher, the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, Cal. First pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Palante. 0-1 count. Xavier in the building. What's good? All day in the building. What's good? Always excited when we go on the road and play a good team, even if we have been a little shaky. It's a game, to show that we can compete, and also a series that we can show that we can finally get things on track on the road. Being the worst road team in baseball is not something that you want, as well as being the worst, hitting team earlier in the year, but we're getting better. 0-2 pitch, incoming here from Palante to big dumper. Big swing and a miss, four-seam fastball on the 0-2. Looks like, he got a little bit of a piece there. So we got strike looking on the four-seam fastball on back-to-back pitches in the zone with an 0-2 count, and then obviously just gets a little piece there. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, no balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper. All pitches 94 miles an hour here up from Palante to the big dumper. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. Decided to fool Cal Raleigh with a off-speed knuckle curve, 77 miles an hour, low and at the knees, but big dumper Cal Raleigh does not bite, thank God. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first, JP Crawford with no outs. Top of the first inning, 0-0 here early, Mariners and Cardinals. And it's essential that Kirby pitches well, but we need the bats to come alive. 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. We hit that, we should be able to compete. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Knuckle curve, low and away. fools Cal Raleigh there, and down goes Cal, and that is 1 away. Hopefully Cal's bat will be able to get going, whether it's the left side or the right side. But we got a righty on the mound in game one, at least to start the game, so that is good. Next up in the 3-hole, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. In the last about 12, 13, 14 games, he's really been ripping it up, over 300 average, and hopefully he can continue that here on the road. First pitch to Julio Rodriguez, slider, 86 miles an hour, low and away, 1-0 count. J.P. Crawford at first base, Julio in the box. Andre Palante with a 2-1 record, ERA of 4.05 on the mound. One-oh pitch from Palante. Inside. Good patience here by Julio early. I like what I'm seeing, from the batters so far, getting these pitch counts up for Palante, but making sure you're not necessarily just going after the first two pitches and getting a cheap pop-up or ground out. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, low and at the knees. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez. 2-0 pitch from Palante. Julio crushes it into shallow center field. And Church ends up taking care of that ball easily there in center field. And J.P. Crawford scampering back to first base, and that is 2 away. Next up, the hero from our last game against the Athletics. Cleanup hitter, first baseman Josh Naylor. And again, that was only the third time we've gotten consecutive hits from Cal, Julio, and Naylor all season, but the first time it happened in the 9th. And guess what? We ended up winning because of those clutch hits. First pitch from Palante to Naylor, knuckle curve, 75 miles an hour, high and away, 1-0 count. And we're definitely going to need Cal, Julio, and Naylor to bring that energy as well. Middle of the lineup with Randy and Rayleigh. Can't count them out as well. And then Canzone, Young, and Rivas on the bottom of the order have to produce. 1-0 pitch. Ends up taking a strike right down the middle to Josh Naylor. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. Says a little bit high, but in the strike zone, at least that's what the ump says. As I see it on the pitch graph now, it looks a little high for a ball, but we'll see where we go here. 1-1 pitch, and he ends up getting a rip of that towards first base and foul. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first. J.P. Crawford with 2 outs. Top of the first, 0-0 here early. Palante on the mound. Josh Naylor in the box. Come on, Nails. We need you. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. One-two pitch from Palante. Big swing and a miss. Fools Naylor with a slider low and in the dirt. 88 miles an hour. Good inning there by the Cardinals, retiring the Mariners except for JP. And let's go to the bottom of the first inning and see who's up next here for St. Louis. Next up for the Cardinals, leadoff hitter, second baseman, up-and-coming stud, J.J. Weatherholt. Batting second, catching today for the Cardinals, Ivan Herrera. And batting third in the 3-hole, first baseman, Alec Burleson. On the mound for the Mariners with a 3-2 record, ERA of 2.97, George Kirby. Right ends up, let's go M's. We gained 3 subs since the beginning of the stream. Appreciate that. 43 subs to go to 23,900, 143 to 24,000. Like I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, we are approaching 6 million views on the channel, which is great considering we hit 5 million just a few months back. All right, we're at 16 likes, 84 to 100. Marine Bean in the building. What's good? George Kirby on the mound. Starting off with J.J. Weatherholt, the up-and-coming second baseman phenom. Batting second, again, Ivan Herrera. And batting third, Alec Burleson. And if you guys have been watching the NFL draft yesterday, which I was tuned in very closely, as well as today, again, hopefully everyone ended up getting someone that they can appreciate in that first round. Definitely were some surprises, especially with the Rams and with their first pick with Ty Simpson. You know, McVay didn't want that. But again, a couple sleeper picks in the draft. And again, I'm very, very happy with Ruben Bain Jr. going to the Bucs. First pitch from Kirby to J.J. Weatherholt, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, high and away, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch gets Weatherholt to pop up to shallow center field. Randy and Julio are there. Randy calls off Julio at the last second, and they have a little chuckle. As long as they're going to communicate, I'm okay, and that is one away. Good defense there by Randy. Down goes J.J. Weatherholt flying out to left. One down. Next up in the two-hole, catcher Ivan Herrera. On deck will be Alec Burleson. And on the mound, like I mentioned, with a 3-2 record, ERA of 2.97, it is George Kirby. You know, pitching and defense on the road have been, pretty good. It's just the hitting, prior to that Astros series where we finally kind of woke up. But again, we definitely have to start winning some games on the road. Being known as the team that has the worst record on the road, not ideal, but we haven't had any road games in a minute. We've been at home for quite some time. And first pitch to Ivan Herrera, and he ends up plunking him. And that is very rare. You don't see Kirby hit too many batters or walk too many batters. Hopefully that will be the only one of the game. I mean, Herrera is crowding the plate quite a bit there, but again, still. Next up in the three-hole, first baseman Alec Burleson. Go M's, Trident's up. First pitch to Burleson, takes a strike looking with a knuckle curve, 84 miles an hour, low and away, 0-1 count. Let's go, George. We need you, baby. 0-1 pitch from Kirby. Little dribbler towards first base. Here we go. Double play for Cole Young. J.P. Crawford back to Naylor and got the job done. That is beautiful. Great defense there by the Mariners. Had that runner frozen. Didn't know what to do with himself. Easy double play. Cole Young, J.P. Crawford, Josh Naylor. Let's get it going. I love it. And again, hopefully we'll have multiple opportunities for double plays here today. And that's our first in the first inning. Awesome. Great job defense. Now let's see who's up next here for the Mariners as we go to the top of the second inning. Next up for the Mariners in the 5-hole, left fielder Randy Arozarena. Batting second in the 6-hole, playing right field tonight, Luke Raley. And batting third in the 7-hole, DHing for Seattle, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. And on the mound for the Cardinals, 2-1 record, ERA of 4.05 coming into the game, Andre Palante. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to win this first game because we got 2 early afternoon games that are more considered morning if it's on at 11:15 a.m. Pacific on back-to-back days on Saturday and Sunday. Not ideal for the Mariners, but hopefully we'll be able to adapt and adjust. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 42 subs to go to 23,900. End of the first inning, 0-0, Mariners and Cardinals. All right, 21 likes, 89 to get to 100. Kirby has been great. Woo's been great. Obviously we could have used a little bit more run support for all of our pitchers. Emerson Hancock has been much approved, even though, he had a mini meltdown on his last start. But overall, he's been better than Logan Gilbert and Luis Castillo, which it seems like with them, 1 out of every 4 to 5 starts, they're good. But then the other 3 or 4, not so much. So hopefully that'll be able to turn around sooner than later. But at least we end up having 3 consistent pitchers, and then 2 that are kind of working on their game. Could be a lot worse. We could only have 1 guy that's, wheeling and dealing, and 4 that are struggling. So got to keep it moving. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, takes a strike looking low and away. 93 mile an hour, 4-seam fastball by Palante, 0-1 count. Come on, Randy. 0-1 pitch from Palante, low and away. Slider 87 miles an hour into the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. One-two pitch, and Randy, nice double to right there. I like that. And a nice base knock there by Randy Arozarena. I like that. Knuckle curve, 77 miles an hour. Randy just got all of that. Great job. Next up is Luke Raley. Hopefully that'll set the tone for some of the other guys on the squad. Let's go, Luke. First pitch to Luke Raley, in there for a strike, right down the middle, knuckle curve, 75 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the second inning, 0-0, Mariners and Cardinals. Randy Arozarena with a nice double to right. Great start to be able to get someone on, with scoring position within the first couple innings. 0-1 pitch from Palante, low and away. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, getting close to the dirt there. Good patience by Luke. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at second, Arozarena with no outs. Let's go, Luke. Let's see if we can get an early RBI here or home run out of Luke Raley. See if we get a nuke out of Luke. 1-1 pitch, low and at the knees. 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Palante. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at second and no outs. 0-0 here early. Palante on the mound. Luke Raley in the box. Let's go, Luke. Trident's up. We need a good performance from Luke on the road. 2-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. Shallow center field. Church is there. And that is 1 away. Randy is going to try to get to third. And good speed by Randy. He is safe. Nice job by Randy. And again, some games, Randy is very efficient, defensively, on the bags, in the box. And hopefully the defense will be there. We know ground balls can be an issue, but nice job by Randy. Luke Raley getting enough of that. Next up, Dominic Canzone. Let's see if the Italian Stallion can drive him in with an RBI or a sac fly. First pitch, takes a strike looking with a 4-seam fastball. Right down the middle, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Top of the second inning, runner at third, Randy Arozarena. Dominic Canzone, the Italian Stallion, in the box. Let's go, Dom. 0-1 pitch, and a little dribbler off himself that goes foul behind him towards first base. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Palante. No balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Come on, Dom. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. It's always awesome to see Randy hustle. He's got so much potential, but just half of the time he looks just kind of uninterested. Like I made it. I'm in the big leagues. I don't got to try hard on every play, and nothing makes me more irritated than guys that take plays off. But sometimes that's just who that player is. 0-2 pitch, low and at the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. But with the type of athleticism that Randy has, if he actually applied himself, he would probably be known as one of the, top 40 or 50 guys in the league. Obviously we know that he can hit over 300 in the box, but defensively, most of the time a liability. 1-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Slider, 86 miles an hour, low and at the knees. Dom bit on that one, and that is 2 away. Now let's see if Cole Young can end up getting the job done here, and he's been pretty damn reliable. We've seen a big uptick in his defense, his swagger, his aura, and also his ability in the box. At the beginning of the year, he was one of the best hitters with, obviously, Brandon Donovan. Had a little bit of a rough patch in between, but has started to get a little bit better, even though he's had a few 0 for 4, 0 for 5 games. First pitch right up the middle to Nathan Church. It breaks free, and Randy crosses home. Nice job by Cole Young, making up for some of those 0 for 4, 0 for 5 starts that he has had recently. Cole Young, we love you, man. Let's go. We can't wait for your buddy Colt Emerson to get called up, playing in his first game in AAA with the wrist injury starting to heal up, bringing the electricity for the Seattle Mariners. Cole Young, we love you. Randy comes home from third, 1-0 Mariners. Next up is Leo Rivas. First pitch takes a strike, looking right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour to Leo Rivas, 0-1 count. And getting off to a good start early is very pivotal. 0-1 pitch, a little shallow ball to Nathan Church. He's been busy today, and that is out number 3. But we'll take it. Anytime you can end up scoring first on the road when you've been the worst, team in baseball on the road up to this point, again, we're just trying to be able to get rid of some of those labels attached to the Mariners. Before the Astro series, worst hitting team in baseball, batting 188. Obviously, we're much above that, above 200 now, which is, obviously something that we desperately needed, right? And then even though the hitting got better, then we had issues with pitching in the bullpen and Dan Wilson as a manager and Andres Munoz. It seems like it is a revolving door of a problem here and a problem there. But again, defense has been good, and Cole Young, what can you say? A guy that is dramatically improved from last year to this year. And again, he's definitely going to be not only a fan favorite for, a lot of the OGs that have been watching for a long time, but if you're a newbie, to the Seattle Mariners within the last 5 to 10 years, I definitely feel that Cole is going to continue to make a lot of fans happy, not only in the Seattle and the Pacific Northwest area, but across the globe. We love you. Big RBI by Cole Young, 1-0 Mariners. See who's up next here for the Cardinals in the bottom of the second. Next up for the Cardinals in the 4-hole, right fielder, one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's got 8 home runs so far, and again had a tough first couple years with the Cardinals. And again, he's off to one of the fastest starts that we've seen out of a player, Jordan Walker. Batting second in the 5-hole, DHing Nolan Gorman, and batting third in the 6-hole, shortstop Mason Wynn. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Got to be very careful on how we pitch to Walker. This is the same thing like going to Nick Kurtz and Shea Langoliers and Cortez in that previous A's series. If you go down the middle too often to a guy that's hot, you're going to get, bad results. And we don't want Kirby to give up any early home runs here. First pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball there by Kirby, 96 miles an hour to Jordan Walker, who has been incredibly hot, 0-1 count. It's like that one guy in the lineup, you better not throw right down the middle often. If you do, and you test him, good luck. 0-1 pitch, high and away. Sinker, 96 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jordan Walker. Sean in the building, what's good? Velasco in the building, what's good? Let him know. 1-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Slider, 88 miles an hour there by George Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the second inning, 1-0 Seattle with a Cole Young RBI after Randy got a double to right field, stole third, and not necessarily stole third, ended up being kind of a pop-up sac fly. He ended up going to third, and then we ended up getting the nice RBI. Dom tried, failed, but Cole Young brought him home. 1-2 pitch, fouls that one off himself, goes behind the plate. Slider, 88 miles an hour there by George Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Seattle. And again, being the worst hitting team prior to the Astros series, that label is gone. Now being, the worst road team. We had a bunch of games at home recently, so we haven't been able to add to it. But definitely we're not good. Us and the Astros and the Royals were very bad on the road. But again, it can only get, better from here moving forward, especially with guys like Cal, Julio, and Naylor being able to hit back to back to back, getting that big win in the last game against the Athletics. 2-2 pitch. High and away, but is called strike 3. Wow, and Walker is not challenging. And that was a nice pitch there by George Kirby. And as I'm looking at it, it's right on the line. Sinker, 98 miles an hour, high and away. Beautiful. I love that. And that is 1 away. Down goes Jordan Walker. We love that. Next up is Nolan Gorman. First pitch, big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by George Kirby. High and inside, 0-1 count. Isaac getting us started. Appreciate you. Let's go M's. $20 holla. Gorman with a low, slow dribbler up the middle that gets past Cole Young. And a base knock there for Nolan Gorman. Next up is Mason Wynn. Appreciate you getting the Dono train started. Kirby on the mound, Mason Wynn in the box. First pitch, sinker, high and away, 98 miles an hour there by George Kirby, 0-1 count. Kirby on the mound, Mason Wynn in the box. Oh, 1 pitch, big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by George Kirby. Seems like he's feeling it, obviously, and that's a good thing to see because we got to make sure that Kirby and Wu at the very least are electric. Hancock is going to be good, sometimes a little shaky, but for the most part good. And then Logan Gilbert and Luis Castillo have been bad this year, like Andres Munoz overall, looking good maybe 1 or 2 times, but 4 or 5 times looking pretty terrible. But hopefully those guys will get better because we're going to need them. 0-2 pitch, low and away, slider 88 miles an hour there by George Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mason Wynn. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. One-two pitch popped up. And Young is there in shallow right field. And we can always count on his defense more times than not. Great job there by Cole Young, getting the pop out on Mason Wynn, and that is 2 away. Next up in the 7-hole, center fielder that's been busy today, obviously on defense in center field against the Mariners, Nathan Church. On deck is Ramon Urias. First pitch to Church, crushes it into left field, out of play. And it's such a good feeling that we're, ahead early and getting on the board. I was really hoping that we would get a home run or an RBI within the first 3 innings, to set the tone. The last thing that you need when you got the worst record on the road is to see the scoreboard light up on the other side and then the Mariners at a 0 for a long period of time. The faster that you can score, the overall vibe and mood is going to be much better as the game goes deeper. We don't really know what's going to happen with our bullpen in this series, if they're going to play well or shit the bed. But one thing is for sure, more times than not, we can trust George Kirby. 0-1 pitch fouled off. 4-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour, out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Nathan Church. Trident's up. Let's go M's. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Slider, 87 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and 2 outs. Bottom of the second, 1-0 Mariners. And again, tomorrow's game on Saturday as well as Sunday, it's going to be very early, especially for us here on the Pacific Northwest. It's going to be like 11:15 a.m. on both morning games. So only afternoon/evening game we have against the Cardinals. Little slow dribbler right to Josh Naylor. Toe tap on the bag. Defense has been immaculate so far here for Seattle, and that's exactly what we needed. The bats to come alive, the pitching to be well, and obviously confident and good by George Kirby, and the defense has already gotten a double play within the first 2 innings. Let's go. Everything looking good here for Seattle. You know, when it rains, it pours and things go bad for us. But when things are going good, you know, especially after getting back-to-back hits out of Cal, Julio, and Naylor for the first time all year in the 9th inning, and that ended up getting a victory for us, you know, we're definitely feeding off that momentum moving forward. Let's see who's up next here as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Mariners. Cole Young with an RBI single and Randy Arozarena scoring from 3rd. 1-0 Seattle. Tridents up. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 3rd, 0-for-0. Base on ball, a walk in his first opportunity, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a K. Catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh has homered in 3 consecutive games. Can he make it 4-for-4? I sure as hell hope so. And batting third, 0-for-1 in the 3-hole, one of the hottest hitters in baseball within the last maybe 12, 13 games, batting over 300, you know, and again, he's getting pretty close to a 20 straight consecutive game on base streak. We're talking about J-Rod. We're talking about Julio Rodriguez. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. $42 subs away from 23,900. All right, we're at 36 likes, 64 to 100. We got 116 in the room. Takes 1 second to be able to hit that like button, and the closer we can get to 100, obviously it'll set the tone moving forward. Little dribbler towards third base there by J.P. Crawford off the knuckle curve. Throw to first, and that is 1 away. I was really hoping that we could get our batters to work the count. JP worked the count in his first at-bat, tried to find that first pitch strike right down the middle, but does not get it past the third baseman, and that is 1 away. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. On deck, Julio Rodriguez. Most 3+ game home run streaks, Cal number 1, Judge number 2, Ohtani number 3 since 2024. And anytime you can be in a category with Judge and Ohtani, you know you are a boss. First pitch, high and inside, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour by Palante, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, high and inside, knuckle curve, 77 miles an hour there by Palante. Does not fool the big dumper. Good patience here for Cal. 2 balls and no strikes to Cal Raleigh. And usually Cal does the best when it's a 3-0 or 3-1 count. Let's see if we can get there. A lot of home runs come off 3-0, 3-1. And sometimes it's first pitch, depending on where it's at. 2-0 pitch, takes a strike looking down the middle, four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour. There by Palante. 2 balls and 1 strike to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 2-1 pitch from Palante. Takes a strike looking low and away. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Two pitch, low and away, and it goes in the dirt and gets away from Herrera. Knuckle curve, 79 miles an hour there by Palante, and a good full count here. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper at Cal Raleigh. If it's not there, take the walk. You know, we love the home run swings when they connect, but a lot of strikeouts, a lot of pop-ups. Take the walk if it's not there. 3-2 pitch from Palante. And Cal ends up getting a hold of one, going into shallow left field. And that is 2 away. Next up for Andre Palante, center fielder in the 3-hole, Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. First pitch to Julio, takes a strike looking low and away. Slider 89 miles an hour by Palante. 0-1 count. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Mariners. That's exactly what we want to see, but hopefully we can add on. Magic number will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits in this game and every game moving forward. We get that number more times than not. If the pitching is good, that'll give us a chance to win in almost every game we play. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking down the middle. Sinker 94 miles an hour by Palante. No balls and 2 strikes to Julio Rodriguez. 0-2 pitch, high and away. No budging there for Julio. Sinker 94 miles an hour. Outside of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the third, 1-0 Mariners with a Cole Young RBI single for Randy Arozarena to come home from third. 1-0 Seattle. And a hard hit ball, little dribbler, get it there, and Julio gets to first base, but just not in time. And again, slow dribbler ended up, I was thinking going to be a little bit, a little bit more speed as it ended up catching some ground into the infield. But again, at least Julio hustled the first, and that's exactly what you want to see, but just not in time. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Seattle. Next up in the 8-hole, third baseman Ramon Urias. Batting second in the 9-hole, left fielder Jose Fermin. And batting third, 0-for-1, second baseman, up-and-coming stud J.J. Weatherholt. And on the mound with a 3-2 record, ERA of 2.97, George Kirby. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. A's, Phillies, Mariners, Nationals. Yeah, Snelling isn't a real big name and whatnot, but definitely more of an obscure name, that's for sure. The Australian. Let's go to the bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Seattle. And if you're just tuning in, Cole Young getting the job done in the top of the second inning with a single to center. Arozarena scoring from third, and Randy with a double to start off the game in the second inning. So again, someone had to be that guy to get the ball rolling, and it was Randy, and Cole ended up finishing the job. 1-0 Mariners, Trident's up. Fantastic start. George Kirby on the mound, and Ramon Urias making his way into the box, the third baseman. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. First pitch to Urias, low and away, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour. And we got a challenge here, and this should get, I would assume, overturned. Yep. Call is overturned. Good challenge there by Urias. No balls and 1 strike from Kirby to Urias. Bottom of the third inning, 1-0 Seattle. Oh, 1 pitch. Fouls that one behind the plate. No balls and 2 strikes to Ramon Urias. So far, so good out of George Kirby. 0-2 pitch. Crushes that one out of play into right field. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour there by Kirby. No balls and 2 strikes to Ramon Urias. Blazers play tonight against the Spurs with no Wemby with a concussion. My best friend's birthday is tomorrow. He's there tonight with his dad. Game starts in about an hour and a half, and hopefully Rip City will be able to come up with the upset. There's rumors that Dame might actually suit up, but we don't know if that's true. One-two pitch, little slow dribbler. Cole Young is there, automatic to Naylor, and that is one away. Great job there by Cole Young. Love being able to rely on someone in the infield that's not going to make a mistake more times than not. Great job. Next up for George Kirby, in the 9-hole, Jose Fermin. First pitch, takes a strike looking slider, high and away, 87 miles an hour by George Kirby, 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch. Takes a strike looking in the zone, low and away. Sinker 97 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Jose Fermin. Yeah, I mean, the ABS is great, because it keeps everyone, held accountable. Some calls are going to go our way, some aren't, but at least we feel like the game is being called fairly instead of these umps in the past that were blind or that would hold grudges, or their strike zone would be massively different from one game to the next. One game, the strike zone might be as big as a bus, and another ump the next day, it might be, a small square. So it's definitely, a great thing for baseball. One of the greatest things that baseball's done in recent memory. And it's actually worked out, I think, tremendously. Keeping the umps honest. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jose Fermin. Mike in the building, what's good? 2-2 pitch. And a hit into shallow right field. Luke Raley is there, and that is 2 away. No, I don't think that we need to make the World Series for it to be a success because fucking A, man, we started 11-15. I mean, at this point, we're just trying to be able to, win the division or get the wild card and then see how far we can go. Now if we would have started off with the best record in the American League, kind of like the Yankees or one of those teams that, has been good, or in the National League like the Dodgers or Padres, then yeah, it's obviously World Series or bust. But again, I think, we haven't proven in the Cal Raleigh Julio era that we can make the playoffs in back-to-back years yet. And so if we can end up doing that on a consistent basis, back-to-back or back-to-back-to-back, and, expectations will get higher and higher. But obviously we feel that we have a talent, good enough to, make a deep run, all the way to the World Series. I'm not sure, but, again, ALDS, ALCS are always goals, as well as the World Series, as well as winning the division or getting the wild card, depending on how things shake out. 2-0 pitch, big swing and a miss on the up-and-coming stud, second baseman J.J. Weatherholt. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on and 2 outs. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Seattle. But again, since we had such a slow start, I think most Mariner fans at this point would just be happy if we actually make the playoffs, and then we'll see what happens from there. Little dribbler to Cole Young, stretch by Josh Naylor, and a nice toe tap on the bag. And they have a good rapport and chemistry, Josh Naylor and Cole Young. They're making multiple plays game in and game out. Great defense by the Seattle Mariners. End of the 3rd inning, 1-0 Seattle. I mean, really, everything is going our way so far. I mean, we don't got the big home run yet, right? But we got the early lead. We got Cole Young playing great on offense and defense. George Kirby is killing it. And the defense has already been able to get a double play and be very efficient. We saw a few errors in the last game against the A's. And again, it feels like that win with back-to-back-to-back hits from Raleigh, Rodriguez, and Naylor in the 9th was huge for us to be able to have this Uncle Mo and momentum carry over to this St. Louis Cardinal game on the road. I love it. Next up, in the top of the 4th inning, 0 for 1 with a K, first baseman Josh Naylor with the game-winning RBI. Nails, you're the fucking man. Batting second, 1 for 1 with a run, left fielder Randy Arozarena, who got the party started here tonight with a double. I see you, Randy. And batting third, 0 for 1, right fielder in the 6th hole today, it is Luke Raley. Trident's up. Let's go, Ems. 42 subs to go to 23,900. All right, we're at 47 likes, 53 to 100. And if you look at the National League Central, I mean, the records are just bananas. So for us to be able to, at least show that we're going to fight, it shows how momentum is so important in sports. One game carry us over to another, and whether that's something that happens to you and you have those positive vibes, or when things go bad, sometimes that bad mood and those bad habits carry over. But it looks like we've definitely turned the corner and turned the page since that Astro sweep, aka mop. First pitch from Palante to Naylor, fouls that one off himself. Hopefully he's okay. He's got a little hobble in his giddy up and his step there. Splitter 84 miles an hour. And as anyone knows that has played baseball, recreational or on a team or watch, anytime you foul one off yourself, it does not feel good. And depending on where it gets, that little deflection, it could end up being, a minor injury all the way up to something major. So hopefully Naylor is okay here. Fouls it right off his foot. No padding there. They got the trainer as well as Dan Wilson taking a little bit of a visit, as well as Randy now coming up, making sure that Naylor's okay. Long pause here. Naylor talking to a few trainers, now finally getting back into the box. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Mariners. George Kirby playing great. The defense playing great. The batters are coming, to play here on the road so far, even with only 2 hits. But it feels like we're going to get a lot more. 0-1 pitch, high and away, getting away from Herrera, the catcher. Splitter 85 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Come on, Josh. One pitch, low and at the knees. 2 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Two-one pitch, low and at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike to Josh Naylor. Top of the fourth inning, 1-0 Seattle. Palante on the mound, Josh Naylor in the box. 3-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss there by Naylor. Slider 84 miles an hour missing from Palante. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Top of the fourth, 1-0 Mariners with a Cole Young RBI single to be able to score Randy Arozarena from third. And again, 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. That's the magic number. And, I'm not sure if we're going to end up getting Palante in a mini meltdown before he exits, but hopefully we'll be able to not face too many lefties, starters, or pen, because we do struggle with that position. 3-2 pitch, low and away. Great eye there by Naylor, and he forces the walk. Nice job, Josh. Nice job, Nails. Next up in the 5-hole, Randy Arozarena. And Naylor steals a bag. And Randy just stepping out of the batter's box there. Nice free bag there for Naylor. 1-0 count. Let's go, Randy. 1-0 pitch from Palante. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Sinker at 94 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Randy Arozarena. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Mariners. Josh Naylor just stole a bag. He's at second base in scoring position with no outs. Hopefully it'll be 2 or 3-0 Mariners here in the top of the 4th. Pitch is high and inside, almost hits Randy there. Sinker at 94 miles an hour. 2 balls and 1 strike as Randy ducks out of the way. 2 balls and 1 strike with nobody on, or with, Josh Naylor on at second with no outs. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0 Seattle. Tridents up. 2-1 pitch, low and at the knees. Good eye by Randy today. He definitely is more locked in and more focused than I've seen in quite a few games, and that's always a good thing to see for a guy that sometimes it feels like is daydreaming in left field. 3-1 pitch from Palante to Randy incoming. 3-1 pitch. High and away. Just gets the corner. Slider 84 miles an hour. Nice pitch there by Palante. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. And I'm very curious to see on how guys are going to hit in full counts. Also on 0-2 counts and with also 2 outs. Those are going to be critical at-bats for every player in the series on the road. 3-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Randy on the full count, and that is 1 away. Randy with a little bit of a head nod and a little bit in frustration, but you already got a double so far, so don't worry. Next up in the 6th hole, right fielder Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. First pitch to Raley, takes a strike looking low and away with the knuckle curve. If I'm Luke, I challenge that. That's outside of the box, but should have been a ball, but called strike. No challenge by Raley. 0-1 count. Oh, 1 pitch from Palante to Raley. In there for a strike, low and at the knees. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour. And now Raley is challenging the wrong pitch, and he's going to lose this, I think. Oh, wow. He actually won the challenge. How close was that? Look at this. What is this? It's like 0.1. Nice job there by Luke. I mean, the first one definitely was a ball. That one was kind of on the line. Could have went either way. But 1-1 is much better than an 0-2 count, as anybody knows. Good job by Luke. Time is called. One pitch from Palante to Raley. Big swing and a miss. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at second. Josh Naylor with 1 out. Let's see if we can get this game to be 2 or 3-0. Come on, Luke. One-two pitch, high and away. Sinker 96 miles an hour there by Palante. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Luke Raley. Two pitch, high and away. Knuckle curve, off speed, 76 miles an hour, high and away, way off the plate. Good eye by Luke. And now another 3-2 count. And again, we have to be very careful on 3-2 counts, 0-2 counts, and also when we're with 2 outs. Can we rally with 2 outs? We started to show that we could do it in that last game against the A's, and it'll be very crucial with those 3 things here today. 3-2 pitch to Raley. Check swing. Did he go? And Raley strikes out on a full count. Randy strikes out on a full count, and we can't keep continuing having that happen. Now we've got to be able to draw some walks on a 3-2 count. Down goes Luke with the check swing, a little too far. Correct call by the ump. Next up, 0 for 1 with a K. DHing for Seattle, the Italian stallion, Dominic Canzone. Let's go, Dom. First pitch to Canzone. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. Come on, Dom. Dom gets into a lot of 0-2 counts. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour, low and at the knees. No balls and 2 strikes to the Italian stallion. Come on, Dom. We need you. We know you can get those big home runs. But again, just as valuable are singles and doubles. Come on now. Come on, Dom. Keep the inning alive. And Palante steps off the mound, takes a quick glance at Naylor. Mason Wynn right there, communicating with the catcher as well. You don't want to get thrown out, falling asleep at first, second, or third. Hard enough to even get guys on there, let alone to get, thrown out. 0-2 pitch, little dribbler, yes, right in between the gap between second and third. Naylor's coming home. Run, Naylor, run. Safe, let's go. 2-0 Mariners. Dom with an RBI. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And just the lucky, part of second and third, as you see Naylor and avoiding the baseball and being able to, keep those defenders a little bit on edge. And we know Josh isn't the fastest guy. We've seen him, get called home in that Ranger series, by the third base coach, and he got out by a mile, but not that time. 2-0 Mariners. That's what I'm talking about. That patience, in 3-2 counts, 0-2 counts, as well as with 2 outs. If we can end up winning, more times than not in those 3 things that I mentioned, we can end up doing this, getting a nice lead. 2-0 Seattle. I love it. First pitch to Cole Young, takes the strike, looking low and away, 0-1 count. And then we get a quick throw here to first to Alec Burleson, trying to be able to get our guy napping at first. Not so fast. Top of the 4th inning, 2-0 Seattle. Palante on the mound, Cole Young in the box, already the hero early on with the RBI for Randy. And 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball, just foul. Young is really seeing the ball well. Now, there has been a few games that he's gone 0 for 4, which isn't ideal. But most times, after he goes 0 for 4, most times he'll only do it maybe one other game and go maybe 0 for 8. And then at that point, after 2 games of 0 for 4, that's the maximum that he'll go on a drought. And then usually he starts ramping it up. And once he ends up having a 1 or 2 hit game, sometimes that'll carry over 2 to 3 games. And that's exactly what we want to see in this series. 0-2 pitch from Palante to Young with 2 outs. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss. Throw to first, and that is out number 3. So we weren't able to capitalize an additional run, but I think most Mariner fans are going to be very happy. George Kirby with a 1-hitter. Defense with a double play in the first inning and have been clean, no errors. And then on top of that, we got 3 hits. We got some RBIs. We're up 2-0. So far, so good here on the road. I'm loving it. And this is exactly what we expected and what we wanted after the bottom of the 9th inning of getting back-to-back hits and beating the Athletics. Huge. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up, as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, in the 2-hole, catcher Ivan Herrera. Batting second, 0 for 1 in the 3-hole, first baseman Alec Burleson. And batting third in the 4-hole, right fielder, 8 home runs. He's been so hot, struggling his first couple seasons, but ended up really getting onto a hot streak this year. Worked really hard in the offseason, and it shows with 8 home runs. Jordan Walker, 0 for 1 with a K. And as long as you don't pitch him down the middle, like with Kurtz and Langoliers, he's not going to go off for a bunch of home runs. So far, so good. And I like what I'm seeing. Tridents up. Let's go, M's. 42 subs do 23,900. Knocking on the door of 6 million views as well, which is fantastic. And we're at 57 likes, 43 more to get to 100. let them know. And again, one like turns into another, one sub turns into another, one dono turns into another, one share turns into another. And when we start to snowball, positive things, it just leads from one goal being achieved to another. And obviously we got some of the best fans on planet Earth here. And we do have a global audience. So there's a lot of people all across the world that are watching. Not everyone is in the United States. Usually about 70 to 75% is in the United States. And the other, 20 to 30% typically is around the globe. And again, everyone knows how to hit the like button. That's universal. And hopefully we can get a little bit support here in the stream to be able to get to 100 and then get closer to 150 to 200 before the game is up. First pitch to Herrera, takes a strike, looking low and away, 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch, high and away, four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by George Kirby, who's looking fantastic, throwing a one-hitter so far. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ivan Herrera. 1-1 pitch, and that's into shallow center field. Julio is there. And that is 1 away. Great job there by Julio Rodriguez, a guy that we know that we can trust in center field more than pretty much anybody in the outfield for us. Nice job there by Julio. It's always nice to be able to have a reliable second baseman in Cole Young and a reliable guy in center field. Now, we know in left field and right field, sometimes it's a little shaky with Randy in left. And then obviously in right, normally Canzone, Luke Raley, and sometimes Victor Robles. Robles is due back today. So I'm not sure if we're going to see Victor Robles pinch hit today or tomorrow or on Sunday, but it would be nice to be able to have him back on the field or in the box at the very least if he DHs. 1-0 pitch, high and inside to Alec Burleson. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour on back-to-back pitches. 2 balls and no strikes to Alec Burleson. And again, after an early, hit by pitch, and again, also an early almost walk by Kirby. Usually he doesn't walk too many guys. He was able to get out of that jam. Now he's approaching a 3-0 count on Alec Burleson. All pitches high and inside. Last time was a cutter, 93 miles an hour. 3-0 pitch from Kirby to Burleson right down the middle for a strike. Nice sinker there to get back on track. 96 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike to Alec Burleson. Kirby on the mound. Alec Burleson in the box. 3-1 pitch, high and away, and the first walk of the day for George Kirby. And again, does not really walk too many individuals game in and game out. Most games, it's 0, but at the most, it's usually 2 at the very, very worst. So hopefully that will be the only walk. Next up for George Kirby, one of the hottest hitters in the game, it's Jordan Walker. 0 for 1 with a K, and let's continue to be careful on how we pitch to him. First pitch, big swing and a miss, slider 87 miles an hour, way off the plate to bait Walker. Walker takes the bite, and he misses. 0-1 count. Nasty pitch there by George. And it's just about watching the tape and knowing how to pitch to certain guys, especially when they're guys that we already went against, Nick Kurtz and Shea Langoliers and Carlos Cortez. They didn't even have Brent Rooker, Jacob Wilson. And again, we saw how great the A's played us. Cardinals got some ballers as well. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Sinker 97 miles an hour. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jordan Walker. First 16 games, 8 home runs, but the last 7 he's got 0. But it wouldn't surprise me if he heats up again at some point. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Sinker 97 miles an hour there by Kirby, looking very efficient and has a lot of confidence out there. Throwing a 1-hitter so far, but is getting a little bit behind in the counts in the last couple batters here. 2-1 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? It's right on the corner, and he did not go around. Slider 87 miles an hour. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jordan Walker. Batting average much better versus lefties than righties for Jordan Walker, even though he's got 5 home runs on the right-handed pitching and 3 against left. 3-1 pitch, big swing and a miss, low and away. Beautiful slider, 86 miles an hour there by Kirby. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker, and Walker calls time. Come on, George. Bring that electricity, baby. Kirby on the mound. Walker in the box. 3-2 pitch. Walker ends up fouling that one out of play. Four-seam fastball, 98 miles an hour by George Kirby. Furious George, definitely looking very confident. Got that swagger and aura on the mound, which is great to see. We can trust him. We can trust Woo. We can trust Emerson Hancock probably about 80% of the time. And then right now, not a lot of trust with Gilbert, Castillo, or Munoz as the closer, but hopefully that'll change. 3-2 pitch, a little slow dribbler, tried to jam him and did. Here we go, double play, throw to first, not in time. Fielder's choice at second base, but Jordan Walker with some good speed, and he is safe at first. And that is 2 away. Next up for the Cardinals in the 5-hole, DHing Nolan Gorman. One for one so far, and we got Cal Raleigh making a mound visit here with Kirby, and this is the perfect time to do it. I feel like Cal not only is one of the best catchers in the game, defensively and offensively as a switch hitter, but as far as intelligence, and knowing when to be able to have a mound visit with the starter, or a guy in the bullpen, just not necessarily for them to get their breath. Sometimes it's that reasoning, but also to be able to reflect on the last few at-bats and also the current at-bat on how to be able to have the right pitch sequence to be able to get this batter out and to continue to be able to stay strong, not only physically, but mentally. It definitely feels like we have another manager on the field at all times, and not very many teams can say that. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 Seattle. Runner at first with 2 outs. Kirby on the mound, Nolan Gorman in the box. First pitch to Gorman. Big swing and a miss. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour by Kirby. 0-1 count. Hawks in the building. What's good? Throw to first. And Jordan Walker is safe. Lots of strikeouts for Gorman. A lot of walks as well. 0-1 pitch. Hard hit ball. Deep right field. Fair. Holy fuck. And that ends up going into the stands. And that's going to be a ground rule double. Wow. Yeah, and if it ends up not going into the stands, it's 2-1. So we do get a little bit lucky here to be able to keep Walker at third after that ground rule double by Norman. And hopefully the Mariners and George Kirby can leave both of those runners stranded, and we'll be able to finish it off here on Mason Wynn. The one time you get a ground rule double against you and it actually works in your favor. Now hopefully we get Mason Wynn to pop up, ground out, or strike out. We don't care. Any of the three. First pitch to Mason Wynn, high and inside with the sinker, 97 miles an hour, takes a strike looking, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 4th inning, runners at second and third with 2 outs. Mariners up 2-0. We're looking good offensively, defensively, as well as, the starting pitching with Kirby. 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. Well, it looks like you got a little bit of a piece. Sinker, 97 miles an hour there. No ball, 2 strikes to Mason Wynn. Kirby with a 2-hitter so far. And again, between him and Woo, probably 90 to 95% trust. Emerson Hancock, probably about 80. And then with Gilbert and Castillo, it's probably at like 40. And with, Andres Munoz, it's probably about 25, as far as trust, percentage at this point in the season. But hopefully those numbers, again, will get better for the 3 guys struggling. Gilbert, Castillo, as well as Mooney. And hopefully Hancock will get more trust. And he'll be in that, Kirby Woo category sooner than later. 0-2 pitch, fouled off, high and away. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour there by George Kirby. No balls and 2 strikes to Mason Wynn. Kirby's looking great. I mean, yeah, had a walk, hit a guy early, but I mean, it's, much better than what we've seen in the past. 0-2 pitch, high and away, slider 88 miles an hour by Furious George. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mason Wen, and we got to keep them at 0 as long as possible. Again, the magic number is 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, and look at the National League Central and the standings. It's insane this year. 1-2 pitch, and a little blooper right over Cole Young's head, and that's going to be a big RBI. And Gorman's coming home, and just like that, the game is tied. Mason Wen coming up with a big play, and hopefully that's the only play Kirby gives up all game. And again, it's baseball. It happens. And again, if they didn't have the ground rule double, it would have already been 2-1. And Mason Wen comes up big with 2 outs. And like I said, in 2 outs, 0-2 counts, full counts, 3-2. It's going to work both ways. When we have that in our, possession, and also when we're pitching to that, how do these teams respond, in 0-2 counts, 3-2 counts, and also rallies with 2 outs. And the Cardinals did what the Mariners did with 2 outs. They were able to come up big. Next up is Nathan Church. First pitch, high and inside, 1-0 count. Nathan Church in the box. George Kirby on the mound. And the most that Kirby can give up for us to still feel confident is probably 3 runs max. But, these 2 that he gave up is good for the rest of us Mariner fans for the rest of the game if possible. 1-0 pitch. And Randy coming in from shallow left field and making out number 3. So big RBI there by Mason Wen with 2 outs. And we were hoping to keep those runners stranded, but again, sometimes when you face the Cardinals and the Lou, sometimes it goes in your favor, sometimes not. But again, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Mariners. Both pitchers pitching well, both hitters playing well, both defenses playing pretty good. Again, it's as even as it gets here on a Friday night. And now let's see if we can end up retaking the lead here in the top of the 5th. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-1, third baseman Leo Rivas. Batting second, 0-for-1 with a base on ball, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0-for-2 with a K with home runs in his last 3 games against the Athletics, the big dumper Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, let's go M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 41 subs to go to 23,900. All right, we're at 71 likes, 29 to 100. And we're at 20 on the dono train, 80 to go. End of the 4th inning, 2-2, Mariners and Cardinals. First pitch to Leo Rivas from Palante, low and away, 4-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour there by Andre Palante, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, hard hit ball up the middle to second base, throw to first, and that is 1 away. Down goes Leo Rivas, and again, Leo's more of a AAA player, but we don't really have anyone in AAA that we can call up. Obviously we know Brendan Donovan is very missed. To go against his former team is something that he was really looking forward to, but obviously we got to make sure that growing is okay. Next up, 0-for-1 with a base on ball, shortstop J.P. Crawford. But on the bright side, we did get the first game back after the wrist injury for the Tacoma Rainiers. Colt Emerson is playing today, so that's a good sign. At some point between now and June, we're going to call him up, but we got to make sure that wrist is okay. First pitch, high and away, 4-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour, 1-0 count. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. Four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 strike with nobody on and 1 out, top of the fifth. 2-2, Mariners and Cardinals. TJ says we're at 75-25 to go. 1-1 pitch, knuckle curve, high and away. 77 miles an hour there by Palante. 2 strike to JP Crawford. I mean, I want to see bunts. I want to see stolen bags. I want to see some run and gun. I want to see some home runs. But again, 0-2 counts, 3-2 counts, and counts with 2 outs. That might really determine on how things play out. This is as even as it gets. And obviously, whoever bullpen is a little bit better, more than likely is going to end up squeaking out this game. 2-1 pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. Slider 84 miles an hour by Palante. 2-2 pitch to JP. Big swing and a miss. And down goes JP Crawford. A nice punch out there for Palante. And that actually is his 7th K, believe it or not. Holy moly. I knew he had quite a few, but I didn't realize it was that many. Kirby's only got 1 K. Palante's got 7. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. 382 feet, 367 feet, and obviously getting that big deep one on number 3. First pitch, high and away to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Off-speed knuckle curve, 76 miles an hour, high and away. 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, high and away. Another knuckle curve, off-speed, missing. 2 balls and no strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Cal. Work the count. Two-0 pitch, low and at the knees. Count now is 3 balls and no strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Cal's really good on 3-0 and 3-1 counts. Can get some good home runs on those particular counts, but we'll take singles as well and walks if we can get them. Just as valuable. 3-0 pitch, and there we go. Good patience by Cal Raleigh, and that's a 4-pitch walk. Just as good as a single, and we'll take that. Nice job by the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Take what the offense on the other side gives you. Next up, a player that's been extremely hot in the last 10, 11, 12, 13 games, batting over 300, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. He's overdue for a home run. Only has 1 so far. Ooh, Cal has to slip and fall on 1 knee to get back to first. They don't want him to get injured. And Cal has reached base safely in the last 9 games. First pitch is low and away to Julio. 1-0 count. Well, both teams have 2 runs and 3 hits. And now there's a umpire meeting here on the game. See what they're discussing. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Andre Palante on the mound. Julio Rodriguez in the box. And we got all of the umps in a huddle here. What the hell are they talking about? I don't know necessarily what that was about. They haven't really explained. You never really see the umps all come together unless it ends up being a discussion if a home run was foul or fair, but we're moving forward now. 1-0 pitch from Palante to Julio. Julio ends up cracking that one, but in right field, out of play. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Palante. 1 ball and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Let's go, Julio. And again, we started to be able to get Cal and Julio and Naylor to heat up lately, which is great. We've been waiting. 1-1 pitch to Julio. Low and at the knees. Just gets away from Herrera. They're the catcher for the Cardinals. Active on-base streaks. Julio's at 19. Vargas at 21, Kurtz at 20, and Yordan Alvarez is tied with Julio for third with 19. So again, Julio has been very good in the last probably 10 to 14 games. 2-1 pitch from Palante. Hard hit ball towards third base and foul. 93 miles an hour. 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner at first. Cal Raleigh with a walk with 2 outs. Top of the 5th inning. We're knotted up at 2. But again, magic number will be 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits. And hopefully we'll be able to get to 3 before this inning ends for us. But we'll see how good we are with 2 outs and a rally with a runner at first, Cal Raleigh. Come on, Julio. Let's go, J-Rod. Throw to first, and Cal is safe. Andre Palante with a 2-1 record, ERA of 4.05 coming in. Kind of an awkward delivery. And Julio Rodriguez 0 for 2 in the box. Two-two pitch, and it goes into the dirt there. And Cal will steal the bag off the wild pitch off the knuckle curve. Herrera cannot get to it in time. And again, if Palante is going to get all these Ks, but he's going to end up having a few wild pitches, we'll take that. Nice job and awareness by Cal Raleigh, taking advantage of that wild pitch that gets away from the catcher. And it's only, a minor, maybe 2 seconds, but sometimes that's all it takes to get a good jump. And by the time you have a 2-second jump, you're already almost touching second base. Nice job by Cal. And time is called by Julio. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Top of the 5th inning, 2-2, Mariners and Cardinals. Saturday and Sunday, we have early morning games at 11:15 a.m. Pacific. So this will be our only evening game. Fair ball towards third base. Julio, safe. Let's go. Wow. Unbelievable effort by Julio Rodriguez. I imagine the Cardinals will challenge, but what a fast opportunity there by Julio Rodriguez, hustling like a madman to first base as that one just ends up being fair. Mason Wynn with a one-hopper, but they call Julio safe. Cal Raleigh making his way to third. And when I first saw it, I thought he was out. And when I saw the first replay, he looks out. But again, we will see, if they end up giving us this call or not. But based on my initial gut feeling, I thought he was out. I saw the first replay. He looks out. And again, it's pretty close, but it looks like it goes in the back of the webbing just before the foot goes down on the bag. And so I think we're going to end up walking off the field here. But again, my guess is as good as yours. Sometimes we've had these plays go in our favor, and sometimes we have had, them go the other way. So, and runner is out. So it looks like the eye test from us was correct. Unfortunate. Julio definitely, ended up hustling, which is great to see. That is out, number 3. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th inning and see who's up next. 2-2, Mariners and Cardinals. Next up for the Cardinals, 0 for 1, third baseman Ramon Urias. Batting second in the 9-hole, left fielder Jose Fermin. And batting third, 0 for 2, second baseman stud J.J. Weatherholt. And on the mound for the Mariners, our ace, George Kirby. Going to the bottom of the 5th inning, we're knotted up at 2. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 40 subs to go to 23,900. 83 likes, 17 to 100. And I appreciate great defensive plays, regardless on, where they're coming from. Obviously, we want them to be on our end more times than not, but it was a great play. And, again, you got to appreciate, greatness wherever you see it, or a great play. And sometimes things are going to go in our favor, sometimes against us. But it's just nice, to have a replay system that we can trust most of the time, as well as having the ABS hold these umpires accountable, because we used to complain about the umps every game for the last 3 years, and coming into this year, we've hardly complained about the umps at all. It's pretty rare, and that's definitely good for the game. Let the players play the game. Don't let it get dictated by the umpire. First pitch, high and inside to Ramon Urias. Sinker, 95 miles an hour there by George Kirby, 1-0 count. We're at 83 likes, 17 to 100. One-0 pitch, a little slow dribbler. J.P. Crawford is there, throw to first, and a little high to Josh Naylor. It seems like every throw from J.P. Crawford to Josh Naylor is a little too high, but luckily Naylor has the good awareness, and that is one away. And we saw J.P. with some errors, recently against the Athletics, so we got to clean that up. Next up in the 9-hole, 0 for 1 left fielder, Jose Fermin. First pitch is low and away. Sinker, 95 miles an hour by George Kirby, 1-0 count. One-0 pitch, fouled off, low and away. Sinker, 95 miles an hour there by George Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Jose Fermin. And George has been overall pretty damn good. Again, it's just, nice that we have this game tied rather than, being down 2-0 with, pretty decent pitching. 1-1 pitch, shallow right field. And Rayleigh cannot come up with it. And a little blooper by Jose Fermin ends up being a single. Nice effort by Luke Rayleigh. He always hustles, but just, in that spot, we're in that in-between spot there. Obviously, it's too far away from Cole Young to go after it. And, just not in time there by Luke Rayleigh. Got the glove on it, but wasn't able to squeeze it home. Next up is J.J. Weatherholt. First pitch to Weatherholt, pops it up. Another play, very similar. But there, J.P. Crawford ends up getting to that one in time with Randy right behind him, and that is 2 away. Down goes J.J. Weatherholt. I mean, we can't have so many bloop singles over and over and over. Next up with 2 outs, catcher in the 2-hole, Ivan Herrera. Tridents up, let's go M's. Bottom of the 5th, 2-2, Mariners and Cardinals. Runner at first with 2 outs. Throw to first. And Fermin is safe. First pitch, big swing and a miss by Ivan Herrera, 0-1 count. Bottom of the 5th inning, runner at first with 2 outs. We're knotted up at 2. 14-10 Cardinals, 7-5 at home. 11-15 Mariners, 1-8 on the road. Little dribbler up the middle. Get it, George. Throw to first, and a nice little calm lob. No reason to get crazy. And that is out number 3. Great job there by George Kirby. End of the 5th inning. We're still knotted up at 2. Next up for the Mariners in the top of the 6, 0 for 1 with a run, base on ball and a K, Josh Naylor. Batting second, 1 for 2 with a run and a K, left fielder Randy Arozarena. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a K, right fielder Luke Raley. Trident's up. Let's go M's. $40 subs to 23,900. All right, we're at 87 likes, 13 to 100 with 162 in the room. I need 13 people out of 162, and we're good to go. Let's go, Naylor. First pitch to Naylor, crushes one towards first base and foul. Let's go, Josh. Game-winning RBI in the bottom of the 9th with back-to-back hits with Cal, Julio, and Naylor, getting the job done for Seattle. Back, right center, and gone! Josh Naylor, huge home run to right center, 418 feet, and just like that, he stays hot. The leg kick, I love it, baby. Way to bring that electricity. Nails Josh Naylor. 3-2, Mariners, Trident's up. Let's go. No leg kick there. That was kind of like a golf swing and just got all of that. Beautiful. And again, sometimes the leg kick is going to work. Sometimes he's going to be able to have that golf swing with no real leg kick whatsoever, and he's going to get a hold of one, and that was a beautiful golf swing. Home run, and we love it. 3-2 Seattle. Trident's up. Our guy, Josh Naylor, raised the Trident, baby. Next up is Randy Arozarena. 0-1 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. No balls and 2 strikes from Andre Palante to Randy Arozarena. Come on, Randy. Started off the game with a double to kind of get us going in the second inning. Come on, Randy. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and down goes Randy, and that is 1 away. Randy strikes out. Naylor gives us the big home run that we need on the road. And next up is Luke Raley. Let's see if Luke can get a nuke. Nice job, Mariners. And it's just great to be able to see Cal, Julio, and Naylor playing well. You know, they were 3 of some of the worst, you know, at the beginning of the season prior, you know, to the Astros series. And that home run is going to end up making Palante exit, even though he struck out Randy. So, again, we will take a look at Palante's numbers. Hopefully they don't bring in any lefties, and we'll be good to go. Palante had 8 Ks, so it's not like he, pitched bad. 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walks. He did have 8 Ks, 90 pitches, 54 strikes, but his ERA goes up to 4.26, and he came into the game with a confident 2-1 record, an ERA of 4.05, so it goes up 0.21, and thankfully we end up giving him a little slight mini meltdown with Josh Naylor getting a hold of one with a golf swing. 3-2 Mariners. Both teams have 4 hits, but we got the edge with a 3-2 lead. Awesome. Next up is Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. Justin Brule coming in. Oh, it's a lefty. Of course it is. Trying to get the Brule photo up here as quick as possible. 0-1 pitch, high and away. Or excuse me, 1-0 pitch, both pitches high and away. 2 balls and no strike from Brule to Refsnyder, who ended up coming in instead of Rayleigh because of the lefty to righty. 2-0 pitch, takes a sinker, 89 miles an hour. Justin Brule on the mound. And we got Rob Refsnyder in the box. Two-one pitch to Refsnyder, high and away. Takes a strike looking, sinker, 91 miles an hour to Rob Refsnyder. 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody on and 1 out. And we did see Refsnyder and Garver, come up big late in that athletic game. For the first time, we were like 0 for 20, with guys in the splits, but we'll see how it goes here. 2-2 pitch, low and away, sweeper, 77 miles an hour. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rob Refsnyder. So again, Luke Rayleigh's day is done. And since they ended up going from a righty to a lefty, so we'll see what happens the rest of the way. 3-2 pitch. Hard hit ball by Refsnyder going into right field, out of play. Count still is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Rob Refsnyder. Come on, Rob. Justin Brule on the mound, the lefty, and Rob Refsnyder in the box. Obviously going with the lefty-righty matchup instead of lefty-lefty. And great job by Refsnyder. We know he's not the greatest hitter. He has started to get a little bit better in the last few games, and taking a walk as good as getting a single or getting hit by a pitch. Nice job there by Refsnyder. Much better than popping up, grounding out, or striking out. Next up is Dominic Canzone. Top of the 6th, runner at first, Refsnyder with 1 out. Let's see if Dom can give us a little bit of magic, some Soto mojo from the Italian Stallion. First pitch is high and away, 1-0 count. And Dom is 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K so far. Top of the 6th inning, 3-2 Mariners with a Josh Naylor home run moments ago. And obviously that momentum of getting the game-winning RBI is carrying over to St. Louis, which is awesome. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dominic Canzone. One pitch, low and away. Good eye there by Dominic Canzone. Sinker, 91 miles an hour by Justin Brule. 2 balls and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. Brule on the mound, Canzone in the box. Let's go, Dom. 2-1 pitch. Takes a strike low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. And shout out to my best friend Justin and his dad for being in Portland for the playoff Blazer game against the Spurs. No Wemby with the concussion. Series is tied 1-1. And again, the crowd will be electric, and we'll see if Damian Lillard will make an appearance at some point in the game, or even if he just suits up, the crowd will go crazy. 2-2 pitch. High and inside. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. And my best friend's birthday is tomorrow. I got a chance to see him stop by my place earlier today. Always a good visit. And ended up getting a couple cool gifts from me, and he brought me back some cool stuff from the Astro Mariner series where he went with his dad. I got a miniature baseball bat with Cal Raleigh's image ingrained into the top of the bat, wrapped in plastic. Most of those mini bats aren't wrapped in plastic. It's the first time I've ever got one like that, and got a beer koozie and a few other things. Shout out to my boy Justin. I hope he has a great time tonight with his dad. 3-2 pitch, and that ends up being low and away, and a walk to Dominic Canzone. Back-to-back walks from Refsnyder and Dominic Canzone. We like this, especially when a lefty ends up being a little bit shaky. Nice job, Dom. Nice job, Rob. And next up, we got a guy that we can trust more times than not, Cole Young. Let's go, Cole. It's going to be a little bit tougher hitting left-handed pitching, we know. But let's see if he can force another walk as well or get a big home run or RBI here. First pitch to Young, low and away, 1-0 count. And as you can tell with Brule, he can't hit the strike zone. Everything is low and away. So if these hitters for the Mariners can realize that and be patient, we already got the first 2 batters walked after getting an out. Let's see if we can continue that trend, and we might be able to get a mini meltdown here. So far, you're actually kind of getting one. Would love to be able to go up 4-2 or 5-2 in this inning. Let's go, Cole. Pride hits up. Let's go, Ems. One-0 pitch from Brule to Young. Big swing and a miss. He was going for the moonshot there, but just got behind that sinker. 91 miles an hour, 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. The lefty Justin Brule on the mound and Cole Young in the box. Let's go, Cole. 1-1 pitch, low and away. Kind of the theme here for Brule. 91 mile an hour sinker off the plate, low and away. 2 balls and 1 strike with runners at first and second and 1 out. Brule on the mound, the lefty, Cole Young in the box. 1 for 2 with an RBI and a K. Come on, Cole. And Brule steps off the mound. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. And a little dribbler towards first base. Double play, throw to first, and got him. Wow, that's close. I wonder if the Mariners will challenge here. It looked like Young might have been safe, but it was a very bang-bang play. We will see here. Canzone definitely out at second. And we're not challenging. Good defense there by the Cardinals. You know, again, these teams are evenly matched. And it is going to be now going into the bottom of the 6th with a Mariner 3-2 lead. And shout out to Brooks. His 2 passions are running and making music and making beats. And he ran a banana slug race, which you just run and run and run. It's not necessarily like a marathon. But again, I always like being able to see my friends have dreams and goals. And again, it's one of those races that continues to go, continuously, I believe, maybe even overnight. And hopefully he is doing well. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th inning, 3-2 Seattle. Next up for the Cardinals, 0 for 1 with a base on ball, first baseman Alec Burleson. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a run and a K. It is Jordan Walker. And batting third in the 5-hole, 2 for 2 with a run, DHing Nolan Gorman. All right, let's take a look at George Kirby's pitch count. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, only 1 K, but he's got 67 pitches, 44 strikes with a 3.05 ERA, so keep him out there. Hell, we could have George pitch all the way to the 8th inning, so. So it looks like Dame is not playing, but at least he's shooting around, getting the crowd hyped up. First pitch from Kirby to Burleson. Takes a strike looking high and away. 0-1 count. 0-1 pitch. Fouls that one off towards third base. Change up 87 miles an hour there by Kirby. No balls and 2 strikes to Alec Burleson. Amber in the building. How are you? George Kirby on the mound. Alec Burleson in the box. 0 for 1 with a base on ball. But Kirby's pitch count is low, so we got to make sure we maximize that as much as possible, especially when you don't really know what's going to happen with our bullpen today. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. And we have some trainers looking at Cal, as well as Dan Wilson. Hopefully he's okay. Bottom of the sixth, 3-2 Seattle. 3 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. Cole Young ended up singling to center. Rosarina scoring from third, 1-0 Mariners in the second. Canzone singled to left. Naylor scored in the fourth, 2-1 Mariners. Then Wynn singled to right. Walker and Gorman scored, making it 2-2. And then we just got a Josh Naylor home run into right center, 418 feet. Moments ago in the top of the sixth, and that's how we got our 3-2 lead, which is something that we desperately needed. 0-2 pitch. Low and at the knees. Sinker 96 miles an hour, just outside of the strike zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes with nobody on and no outs. Bottom of the sixth, 3-2 Seattle. 1-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards first base. Cole Young is there, reliable as all. Throw to Naylor, and that is 1 away. And it just feels so good, to have reliable defenders. Cole Young, as good as it gets at second base in MLB this year, and Julio in center. Some of the other guys are kind of hit or miss, but can't wait for Brandon Donovan to come back. Unfortunately, he will not be able to go against his former team. Next up, 0 for 2 with a run and a K, right fielder, Jordan Walker. First 15 games, he had like 8 home runs. Last 7 or 8 games, he has none, but he could get heat up again. There's no doubt about that. But so far, so good. First pitch, takes a strike looking low and away. Slider 85 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 0-1 pitch, big slider low and away. Big swing and a miss. Kirby is wheeling and dealing and getting Walker to bite. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker. And again, after getting 8 home runs in the first 15 games and kind of making a name for yourself and then being on a little bit of a slump, Walker is out of it. 0-2 pitch, big swing and a miss, and Walker's struggles continue, and we'll take that. Another punch out for George Kirby, who doesn't have many today. Down goes Walker, and that is 2 away. Great job there by George Kirby. Second punch out there for George. 74 pitches, 50 strikes, ERA of 3. Keep it going. Next up is Nolan Gorman, 2 for 2 with a run. First pitch from Kirby to Gorman, takes a strike looking high and inside. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour, 0-1 count. Oh, 0-1 pitch, high and away. 4-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Kirby. 1 ball and 1 strike to Nolan Gorman. 1-1 pitch, high and away. 2 balls and 1 strike to Nolan Gorman. 4-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Kirby, who's been pretty damn good. Had a 1-hitter for the longest time and obviously has a 4-hitter right now. 2-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss on a slider right down the middle. 85 miles an hour there by Kirby. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Gorman. And remember, Saturday and Sunday's game between the Mariners and Cardinals is going to be early morning for us here on the West Coast, 11:15 and 11:15. So hopefully they'll be ready to play, wiping the crust out of their eyes early in the morning. 2-2 pitch, high and inside. Sinker 97 miles an hour, just on the line, but not getting the call. Count now is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Gorman. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Three-two pitch. Gorman pops it up. Should be a routine play for Randy in left field. He is there, and that is out number 3. Thank God it's not a ground ball into his area. End of the 6th inning. This has been a good game here for the Mariners so far. Evenly matched against the Cardinals here, who are 7-5 at home with a 14-10 record. So we're just trying to get closer to 500. We're 4 games below 500, but again, 1-8 on the road. Worst team in baseball on the road. But again, if we win this game, we're definitely going in the right direction. Next up for the Mariners, 0 for 2 in the 9-hole, third baseman Leo Rivas. Batting second, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, shortstop J.P. Crawford. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball and a K, home runs in the last 3 games against the Athletics, big dumper Cal Raleigh. Trident's up, let's go M's. Gained another sub since the last commercial break. 39 subs to go to 23,900. All right, we're at 107 likes. Thank you so much. 93 to 200. See if Justin Brule, the lefty, is out there. He had 17 pitches in that last inning. So Brule on the mound unless they make a change. And next up is Leo Rivas. Trident's up. Let's go M's. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 200 likes, 100 on that dono train. And 5 to 15 subs. Let's get it, baby. First pitch from Justin Brule to Leo Rivas. Takes a strike looking with a sweeper. 77 miles an hour right down the middle, 0-1 count. Come on, Leo. 0-1 pitch. Leo Rivas pops up. Should be a routine play here for the Cardinals in left field. And that is 1 away. And hopefully at some point in the series, we get an unexpected home run out of Leo like in this photo. A lot of pop-ups lately. Next up is J.P. Crawford. Woo, first pitch from Brule to Crawford hits him in the back. And J.P. is going to make his way to first. All right, so J.P. Crawford getting hit in the back on the first pitch. Next up is the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. All right, Soriano is coming in. All right, George Soriano coming out. So Justin Brule's day is done. And Cal gets to bat from the left side now. All right, come on, Cal. The Naylor bobblehead looks like him. Very cool. All right, come on, Cal. You got home runs in back-to-back games, every game against the Athletics. Soriano is coming in now, a righty, as Brule, the lefty, leaves. And first pitch to Cal Raleigh, big swing and a miss. Changeup ends up fooling the big dumper, 87 miles an hour. 0-1 count. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Top of the 7th inning, 3-2 Mariners. We've looked good here. First game on the road. Building off of that momentum with the game-winning RBI by Josh Naylor. He's homered today, so definitely great to see one of the worst hitters in baseball at the beginning of the year, bottom 2, really start to find a rhythm. 0-1 pitch, fouls that one off, out of play. Slider 86 miles an hour by Soriano. No balls and 2 strikes to the big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Top of the 7th inning, 3-2 Mariners. Runner at first, J.P. Crawford, who got hit in the back on the first pitch. And hopefully we'll be able to bring home another few runs here. 0-2 pitch. Fouls that one off into left field, out of play. Slider 84 miles an hour by George Soriano, the righty. So they've gone righty, lefty, righty. Righty as the starter, and then they went lefty, righty. So as long as we don't get too many lefties, but again, we were able to kind of cash in once they went to a lefty where they were having a little bit of a mini meltdown with a few walks, and we'll take that. Cal pops it up on a 0-2 pitch. Shallow left field, and Jose Fermin comes in there and makes the catch, and that is 2 away. Hopefully Cal will get one more crack at it before this game is over. Next up is Julio Rodriguez. He's only got 1 home run, so he's definitely overdue. First pitch to Julio, low and at the knees with a sweeper, 84 miles an hour. 1-0 count. Longest career on-base streak, 27 in 2023, 22 in 2022 his rookie year, and he's at 19 this year. Pitches low and away. 2 balls and no strikes to Julio Rodriguez, who's 0 for 3 today. Come on, Julio. We can go 1 for 4. You've been really locked in the last, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 games. You started off not very good, with obviously Cal and Naylor all struggling, the 3 of you, but you definitely have been able to get it together. 2-0 pitch. Takes a strike looking with a sinker. 95 miles an hour there by George Soriano. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up. You're due, baby. Two 2-1 pitch. Low and at the knees. 3 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod. 3-1 pitch. Takes a strike right down the middle. Slider 85 miles an hour to Julio Rodriguez. Count is full. Top of the 7th. Runner at first. J.P. Crawford with 2 outs. 3-2 count with 2 outs to Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Let's go, Julio. And Julio calls time. This might be the first year in his career that he actually is, having a good first half of the season. Maybe not home run wise, but other categories. 3-2 pitch, pops that one into right field, out of play. And again, it's like we don't necessarily need Julio to have 30 to 40 home runs to, have a successful year. But right now, obviously still pacing for maybe, 20 to 28 home runs. He only has one right now, but we have to assume when the weather gets warmer, he might get a string of home runs in, consecutive days to be able to get to 5 and then eventually 10 and somewhere in that 20 range. 3-2 pitch pops up. It's in the infield. You got 3 Cardinals there, and that is out number 3. Nice job there by the third baseman, Mason Wen. We leave one stranded. Julio pops out at third, and let's go to the bottom of the 7th inning and see who's up next year for the Cardinals. Shout out to my boy Brooks Beats with the best beats on YouTube. Next up for the Cardinals, 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs, shortstop Mason Wen. Batting second, 0 for 2, center fielder Nathan Church. And batting third in the 8-hole, third baseman Ramon Urias. And George Kirby's pitch count, let's take a quick peek to see where he's at. So 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 80 pitches, 53 strikes, 2.97 ERA. So with our, bullpen being a little shaky, we want to maximize our starters as much as possible, especially if the pitch count is low. And hopefully we can get, Kirby clean. And this will be the last inning for George Kirby, more than likely. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. $39 subs to go to 23,900. Okay, we're at 115 likes, 85 to 200. Kirby's been great, and again, sometimes, guys are going to give up RBIs and home runs, but again, if they end up giving up 3 runs or less, that's good. That's what you kind of expect. Obviously, 0 to 2 is preferred, 3 at the very most. And again, if you get to 5 runs, 7 to 10 hits, then it looks even better. And first pitch there, and Mason Wen, who's been, the best player for the Cardinals, or one of the best at this point, another big single to left. That goes to Randy Arozarena, but luckily it doesn't turn into a double, because most of the time when you get a slow dribbler to Randy, singles turn into doubles, doubles turn into triples, but thankfully for that was just a single. Next up is Nathan Church, and hopefully we get a strikeout and a double play, or a double play and a strikeout, but Dan Wilson might be calling George Kirby here. All right, Kirby is done. And they're going to bring in Matt Brash. That might be the only guy that I would be okay with coming in here for Kirby. Even though we know that Kirby could have gone a little bit longer, could have faced at least another batter. But good job by George Kirby overall. And Church and Urias are both 0 for 2. So I don't know. I think I would have let him go for one more batter. And then, but again, we will see what happens next. But if they are bringing in Brash and you're going against 2 guys that are 0 and 2, you feel good. Now, Bizzardo and Spire, they both gave up a run when they came in against the Athletics. So, the best guys for us in the pen, Brash number 1, Bizzardo number 2, and then Spire number 3. And normally, Bizzardo and Spire are pretty good most of the time. But again, last start, that they both had, they both gave up a run. But again, Matt Brash coming in, I think we can feel good with that. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-2 Mariners. We need this dub. Let's go. All right, George Kirby, final line. 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks. That's a little low. 81 pitches, 54 strikes, 2.97 ERA. But overall, one of the only 2 guys that we really can fully trust, with him and Brian Wu, as long as the run support is there. And even when the run support is not there. And then Emerson Hancock, probably about 80% trust, who's been better than Castillo and Gilbert. But again, in his last start, had a little bit of a mini meltdown. And hopefully we get the good Matt Brash, and he just mows down Church and Urias. And then, I would hope that he pitches in the 8th, but he only has pitched in 1 inning all year. So the likelihood of him coming back in the 8th is unlikely, but I would like to see that. And I don't really know what Mooney is going to look like. Obviously, they ended up sending Legomena to AAA, and he got picked up, I think, by the Rays, obviously a day or 2 ago. So we won't have Legomena on the team ever again. 0-1 pitch and a line drive, double play, and safe. Great job there by Cole Young. And Church lines out to second, and that is 1 away. Next up, 0 for 2, third baseman Ramon Urias. On deck is Jose Fermin. Let's go, Brash. Throw to first. And he is safe. Naylor on first base, right next to Mason Wen. First pitch to Urias. Low and at the knees. Slider missing there by Brash. 84 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Come on, Brash. 1-0 pitch. Right down the middle. Slider, 87 miles an hour. Perfect pitch there by Brash. 1 ball and 1 strike with a runner at first and 1 out. Bottom of the 7th, 3-2 Mariners. See if we can get a punch out and a pop-up, punch out and a ground out, or maybe a double play even. 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. High and away. 97 mile an hour sinker. Beautiful by Brash. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ramon Urias. Come on, Brash. Right hand stop. Let's go, M's. And Urias hits it into shallow center field. Julio is there, and that is 2 away. It's always nice to have a reliable player out there in center field. Nice job, Julio. Next up for Brash, 9-hole hitter, left fielder Jose Fermin. They got Gabe Spire warming up, so that means Brash will not be back in the 8th. And hopefully we get the good Gabe, not the bad Gabe. Because, again, sometimes Gabe will get an out and then give up an RBI or home run after that. And, again, we want to be able to have a nice 3-2 lead. And hopefully we get the good Gabe. And, we have Gabe lights out in the 8th, depending on what, our score is. And then if Mooney does get a chance to come in, hopefully we get the good Mooney. 0-1 pitch to Fermin. Takes a slider, strike looking right down the middle. Brash looks amazing here today. No balls and 2 strikes to Jose Fermin. Yeah, I think they should have left Brash out for another inning, like maybe 2 or 3 times already this season, but unfortunately they're not doing it. They're having him only go 1 inning, and I don't know if that'll change after the All-Star break. They don't want to wear him out. But again, there definitely is opportunities that, us as fans, we feel like, okay, this is the most trustworthy guy. It's not going to hurt for him to go another inning, especially if the pitch count was low, but they're not really teasing that just yet. But at some point, he will have to go too. 0-2 pitch, throw to first. Especially when you get a guy like Gabe that sometimes is reliable, sometimes not. All right, Paisley's coming in. 0-2 pitch. Tries to jam Fermin, and he just gets a piece. Goes into right field, foul. Slider 86 miles an hour there by Brash, who's looked good. And we haven't been able to say that our bullpen pitcher looks good, that often. So 0-2 pitch. High and away. Four-seam fastball, 95 miles an hour there by Brash. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Jose Fermin. But Brash is definitely the one. Probably should be our closer if we're really being honest. And then obviously you got Bizzardo at the 2. And then by default, we have Gabe Spire. 1-2 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Jose Fermin. And then I don't trust Jose Ferrer at all. Casey Legomina got sent down and then got, placed to another team. So Legomina is no longer going to be in the Mariner organization. Cooper Criswell, is usually hit or miss, but not a whole lot of faith. But lately he's been better than worse. And then obviously we know the story with Andres Munoz in the closer. Hasn't really been very good this year, but, has only had really one major meltdown, the Padre game, but he's definitely been shaky. 2-2 pitch, little blooper. And there we go. Cole Young right there, right place in the right time. And that is out number 3. And we keep the 3-2 lead. I love it. All right, end of the 7th inning, 3-2 Mariners. Awesome. Have a blast. Let's see who's up next here for the Mariners in the top of the 8th inning. Let's see if we can get another insurance run to make it 4-2 or 5-2. Next up, 1 for 2 with 2 runs, an RBI, and a base on ball. A guy that won the game for us with a big hit in the bottom of the 9th, but we also got back-to-back hits by Cal and Julio to get that party started. First baseman, Josh Naylor, and he ends up hitting a home run earlier today to give us the 3-2 lead. He is the man. Batting second in the 5-hole, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And obviously batting after that would have been Luke Raley, but we ended up making that substitution for Rob Refsnyder. I would like to see Victor Robles get a chance. He's supposed to be back with the team, sometime this weekend. I would love, even if it's just for him pinch hitting, just to get him going. I would love to be able to see a little Victor Robles. I've missed him. $39 subs to go to 23,900. All right, we're at 126 likes, 24 to 150. So Cardinals, and then we got 3 games on the road against the Twins, which will be tough, and then we come home to play the Royals and the Braves. So, it's not going to be easy. But again, we definitely have to, just play with the utmost confidence since the schedule is going to get tougher and tougher. Graceffo making an opportunity here for the Cardinals late. Takes a strike looking. And Mariners challenge, and Naylor loses that challenge. Oh, 1 pitch, curveball fouled off there by Josh Naylor. Gordon Graceffo on the mound, Josh Naylor in the box. Oh, 2 pitch, and it goes into the dirt. Past Herrera. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Josh Naylor. 1-2 pitch, low and away, curveball, 84 miles an hour, missing there by Graceffo. 2-2 pitch, and that is strike 3 looking. Down goes Josh Naylor. Nice pitch there by Gordon Graceffo, and that is 1 away. Next up for Gordon Graceffo in the 5-hole. 1 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks, Randy Arozarena. First pitch to Randy Arozarena, takes a strike, looking low, but in the zone. 0-1 count. Come on, Randy. 0-1 pitch. Crushes that one into right field and foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Get you a snack in a minute after this inning is over, okay? Give me a couple minutes and I get you a snack. I promise. Paisley's looking for a snack. Just got to wait a couple more innings here. Or a couple, at least this particular inning. 0-2 pitch, low and away. Slider 88 miles an hour there by Gordon Graceffo. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. This would be a huge victory, especially with the next 2 games on in the morning at 11:15 a.m. Pacific on Saturday morning and Sunday morning, so adjust accordingly. 1-2 pitch, low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Randy Arozarena. But I'm very pleased overall on how we've been playing in this game after beating the A's a few days ago. Big swing and a miss. Down goes Randy. Had a very productive, first at bat, getting a double, but hasn't gotten a whole lot since. Big swing and a miss, and that is 2 away. Next up for Gordon Graceffo, the righty, will be Rob Refsnyder. See if we get some Soto mojo and a little Mariner magic here out of Rob. First pitch to Refsnyder, line drive. And if Mason Wynn isn't in the perfect place, that would have been a single. Unfortunate, hit there by Refsnyder. But again, great defense by Mason Wynn. I mean, he's been, making plays like Cole Young, offensively, defensively. And again, when you have a guy at third base, shortstop, or second base that can make plays like that, that's impressive. Ramon Urias making the play there. All right, let's see who's up next here in the bottom of the 8th inning. I'm going to go get her a snack here real quick. Next up, 0 for 3, second baseman J.J. Weatherholt. Batting second, 0 for 2, catcher Ivan Herrera. And batting third, 0 for 2 with a base on ball, first baseman Alec Burleson. Gabe Spire is coming in for Brash. And hopefully this is the good Gabe Spire. We need you. Bottom of the 8th, Mariners hanging on to a 3-2 lead. Gabe Spire on the mound. Up and coming stud, second baseman J.J. Weatherholt, 0 for 3 today in the box. First pitch, sinker, high and inside, 93 miles an hour, 1-0 count. Now, when Spire comes in to get one out, he's usually really reliable. But when he comes in and has to get 3 outs, to start an inning or get 2 outs, that's when he's kind of shaky. 1-0 pitch, takes a strike looking high and away. 82 mile an hour slider in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike to JJ Weatherholt. Because a lot of times, he'll get a strikeout and then the next batter ends up being a big home run or RBI. Hopefully that's not the case here. 1 for 1. And a line drive there by JJ Weatherholt. And this looks like it might be the bad Gabe. And a big single there by Weatherholt to go 1 for 4, not 0 for 4. Come on, Gabe. And that's why we really want to have, Brash continue and pitch more than 1 inning. Can we really trust anybody? Even our number 3 guy in Gabe Spire, we don't really trust him as much as Bizzardo or Brash. Next up in the 2-hole, catcher Ivan Herrera. And we need a strikeout and a double play or a double play and a strikeout. First pitch, takes a strike looking right down the middle. 95 mile an hour, 4-seam fastball, 0-1 count. Come on, Gabe. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. 0-1 pitch. Kind of a lazy swing there by Herrera, getting fooled on that 4-seam fastball. 95 miles an hour by Gabe Spire. No balls and 2 strikes to Ivan Herrera. Come on, Gabe. We just got to find a way for you to get out of this. Keep that 3-2 lead. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler towards third and foul. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Bottom of the 8th, 3-2 Seattle. Trident's up. 0-2 pitch. And a hard hit ball right in between second and third in the bad Gabe Spire. Back-to-back singles. Should have kept Brash in. And again, at some point, they're going to pitch Brash 2 innings and it's going to work. And every once in a while, he'll fuck up. But again, more times than not, if he pitches 2 innings, he's going to be lights out. He's better than Bizzardo and Spire as far as reliability lately. But unfortunately, the Mariners and Dan Wilson either don't recognize or don't want to put Brash in that position early in the season. Yikes. And now we're going to need a little bit of luck to be able to hang on to this lead. Next up is Alec Burleson. And it shows you we need to be spending more money on our bullpen. And obviously in the offseason, we need to be grabbing more pitchers that are starters and converting them to the pen, or just getting guys from the pen instead of getting backup right fielders and backup first basemen. Nothing is going to be more important than having a strong bullpen. And when things are going good, you don't worry about it as much. But when things start going sideways and you only got a couple guys you can rely on, it's not a good feeling. 0-1 pitch, big swing and a miss to Burleson. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and no outs. It's not over yet. Plenty of time to still win this game. 0-2 pitch. Low and away. Slider 83 miles an hour. There by Gabe Spire. 1 ball and 2 strikes with a runner at first and second and no outs. Yeah, we're positive here. We're not negative, Reese. We've actually played a really good game here on the road. We got the worst road record in baseball. So for us to even have the lead at this point in the game is fantastic. No reason to be a negative Nelly. We ended up winning that game against the Athletics. Back-to-back hits in the bottom of the 9th, by Cal, Julio, and Naylor. So again, we're trying to turn the page and turn the corner. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss. There we go. I like that. And that's the good Gabe Spire. Nice job there by Gabe, and that is 1 away. Down goes Alec Burleson. Next up, 0 for 3 with a run and 2 Ks, Jordan Walker. On deck is Nolan Gorman. And if we can get Walker to hit into a double play, that would be ideal. And now we got Dan Wilson coming out, and it looks like Gabe is done. And now Edward Bizzardo, our number 2, is coming out. It's kind of sad when your number 3 guy in the pen is not really reliable. And Gabe Spire, gives up a bunch of hits, a bunch of RBIs and home runs. But hell, Jose Ferrer is much worse, as well as everyone else. We don't have Legomina anymore, And then you got Cole Wilcox, a AAA pitcher, filling in for Carlos Vargas, who's very hit or miss, like Cooper Criswell. And I feel like maybe we have more confidence in Criswell, than Ferrer or Cole Wilcox. But, we definitely need more individuals. And Mooney hasn't really been good for us either. But we will see how this goes. And hopefully Edward Bizzardo won't give up a run like he did with Spire, in their previous outing against the A's. We need him to be clean here. Got to hang on to this one-run lead. Let's go, Bizzardo. Bottom of the 8th inning, 3-2 Mariners. Runners at first and second with one out. We're going to need Bizzardo to kick that door down and hopefully keep the 3-2 lead. All right, we're at 137 likes. We need 13 out of 1 to get to 150 with 239 in the room. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to 150 to 200 likes, 100 on that dono train, and 5 to 15 subs. Edward Bizzardo here on the mound and Jordan Walker in the box. Let's go. We desperately need a double play here. First pitch to Walker. Takes a strike looking right down the middle. Sinker, 94 miles an hour, 0-1 count. I think it's because Brash is our number one. They don't want him to, tire out too soon since we have a long year. But throw to second, and he is safe. But there's a lot of opportunities where, we desperately need someone that we can believe in to pitch 2 innings. And they have Bizzardo go 2 innings. They've had Spire go 2 innings. They've literally had everyone go 2 innings except for Brash. And, we'll see how that goes as the season progresses. Big swing and a miss by Walker. Sweeper, 82 miles an hour there by Bizzardo. Looking good here early on. No balls and 2 strikes with runners at first and second and 1 out. Back-to-back punch-outs, a punch-out and a pop-up, a double play. We don't care. We need it. And time is called by Walker. Walker is a big boy. Really tall, really strong, And again, he had a hard problem connecting in the first couple years in St. Louis. And then in the first 15 games had 8 home runs. And we were thinking, holy hell, what happened? But again, he's been on a little bit of a slump in the last 7 games, which is good for us. 0-2 pitch and a little dribbler towards third base and foul. Sinker at 95 miles an hour. No balls and 2 strikes to Jordan Walker. Come on, Bizzardo. 0-2 pitch. Little dribbler up the middle. Give me the double play. Give it to me. Yes. There we go. Great job by Edward Bizzardo. Remember the last time that we saw Bizzardo and Spire in a game, they both shit the bed for Emerson Hancock and both gave up a run in each inning. But we get a very good version of Brash and Bizzardo here today. Our top 2, even though Spire gave us back-to-back hits, put us in a little bit of a hole, but not anything that Bizzardo couldn't get out of. And shout out to our defense. Again, we had a double play in the first, and then when we need a double play at the most crucial time, we get one. It feels so good to have reliable guys. And again, Leo Rivas at third is sometimes a question. We know Brendan Donovan is hurt with the groin. We'd rather have him there than Leo. But, overall, even though JP had an error a few games ago, obviously against the Athletics, JP, Cole Young, Josh Naylor, all working together. And again, great job there by the Mariner defense. And again, it feels good to have a reliable guy at second base, Cole Young, and a very reliable center fielder in Julio. But you're starting to get some more reliability of others. Great job by Seattle. End of the 8th inning, 3-2 Seattle, and we hang on to our 3-2 lead on the road. And remember, we're the worst team in baseball on the road, 1-8. And we've had a lot of home games, so we haven't had a chance to really go on the road in a while, but if we could start this series off with a win, it would be huge. Next up, in the top of the ninth, let's see if we can get an insurance run. 1 for 2 with an RBI, base on ball and a K. It's the Italian Stallion, Dominic Canzone. Batting second, 1 for 3 with an RBI. Second baseman, Cole Young, one of the best second basemen in baseball, baby. Offense and defense. And batting third in the 9-hole, third baseman, Leo Rivas. They got Graceffo on the mound. First pitch to Dominic Canzone. Takes a strike right down the middle. Four-seam fastball, 94 miles an hour there by Gordon Graceffo. 0-1 count. Graceffo on the mound. Dominic Canzone in the box. 0-1 pitch, little dribbler towards first, and foul. Come on, Dom. Top of the ninth inning, we have a 1-run lead, but I would love to get one more for insurance if we could. Best case scenario, 2, and we get to 5, but that might not happen. I mean, unless we end up getting an RBI or a home run, or we end up doing what we did against the A's and get back-to-back hits, out of Cal, Julio, and Naylor, which has only happened 3 times this season. 2 in the first inning, and then only 1 time in the ninth. And that happened against the A's last game, and we ended up winning the game with an RBI single by Josh Naylor. So 0-2 pitch, fouled off there by Dominic Canzone. No balls and 2 strikes from Graceffo to Canzone, but I'm very proud of this team on how they looked in game 1. We didn't come out flat, and normally we're very flat in game 1s, at home or on the road, but we've looked pretty damn good today. 0-2 pitch, high and away, but we also have to realize we had George Kirby start the game, and that's one of the 2 guys that we really trust with Brian Wu, then Emerson Hancock, and then not a lot of trust in Castillo and Gilbert, since they only look good in 1 out of every 4 or 5 games, at least so far. And Dominic Canzone calls time. And though Mooney's only looked good once or twice out of like 6 or 7 opportunities. But again, if Mooney comes in the bottom of the ninth, hopefully he doesn't shit the bed and have the Cardinals tie the game up or win the game. We need insurance. 1-2 pitch, low and at the knees. That gets away from Herrera momentarily. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Dominic Canzone. Check swing. Did he go? Count now is full as that pitch goes low and away. 3-2 pitch. And just a slow dribbler to second base, throw to first. Good defense there by the Cardinals, and that is 1 away. Canzone grounds out. Hopefully he'll be able to come to play at some point before this series is over. Next up, one of the best players on the Mariners in 2026, as reliable as they come on defense and on offense. More times than not, he gets a hit or an RBI. First pitch, big swing and a miss, 0-1 count. Yeah, there are going to be games where he goes 0 for 4, and the most that usually that happens is 2 games where he might go 0 for 8. But that's the maximum, but he's always making plays on defense, saving us runs. And again, there are going to be games where he ends up going, 1 for 4, 2 for 4, and possibly even 3 for 4, 3 for 5 when he's locked in. 0-1 pitch, gets away from Herrera. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cole Young. Come on, Cole. He had the RBI single that scored Randy in the second inning to give us the 1-0 lead. 1-1 pitch. And he crushes that one into left field, out of play. Four-seam fastball, 96 miles an hour there by Graceffo. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Cole Young. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Come on, Cole. Last hit for us was the home run they just mentioned by Naylor in the 6th. 1-2 pitch. Cole with a blooper into center field. And that is 2 away. Andres Munoz in the pen, warming up. Next up is Leo Rivas. And, Rivas hasn't hit a home run yet, but this would be amazing if you could end up getting a unexpected home run here for the Mariners to give us a 4-2 lead. Come on, Leo. First pitch to Rivas. Hits it into deep center field. All the way back to the warning track and caught. Wasn't a home run, but could have been a single. But great defense there by Nathan Church. And that is the end of the Mariners in the top of the ninth. And now we go to the bottom of the ninth with a Mariner 1-run lead. And even if we win this game 3-2, every Mariner fan will take it. This has been a good game. Sometimes there's going to be games where it'll be a shootout and it'll be, 6-5, 7-6. But again, sometimes you got to win those 1-0, 2-1, 3-2 games. And it's a grinded out kind of game. Let's see who's up next year for the Cardinals. And Mooney is coming in. We got to get the good Mooney, damn it. Next up, 2 for 3 with a run, DHing Nolan Gorman. Got to be careful with him. Batting second, having a great game, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Shortstop Mason Wynn. And batting third, 0 for 3, Nathan Church. So they get 2 batters in Gorman and Wynn that could win the game for the Cardinals. So we got to be very careful here. And hopefully we get the good Mooney in the bat. And like I mentioned before, when Mooney is good, you'll notice in the first 7 pitches on if it's going to be the good Mooney or if it's going to be the bad Mooney. And hopefully we don't have a nightmare here. Great job there by Bizzardo coming in, getting out of the jam that Spire put us on with runners at first and second and no outs. And now Andres Munoz coming in. He used to be a top 5, top 10 closer this year. Nowhere near that. Usually, probably more bottom 10 this year. But again, he's got a chance to be able to get better. And hopefully he'll bring a little bit of electricity to hang on and to pitch like we know that he can. And hopefully we can end up winning this game 3-2. Trident's up. Let's go, M's. Finish strong, Mooney. Gained 2 more subs since the last commercial break. Appreciate you. 37 subs to go. 223,900. The grip on that slider has been the issue. All right, we hit 150 likes. Thank you so much. 50 more to go to 200. Remember, first 7 pitches, you'll tell what Mooney is about. First pitch, takes a strike looking outside of the zone. If this was challenged, it probably would be overturned, but no challenge by Gorman. 0-1 count. Got to win this game 3-2. 0-1 pitch, hard hit ball, shallow right field, but luckily, thankfully, right there to Rob Refsnyder. And that is 1 away. Great job by Rob. He's probably a better defender than hitter. He's robbed a home run, and he's usually pretty good in right field, filling in for Victor Robles, who's due back any day now. And thankfully, that didn't go over his head. 1 away. Next up is Mason Wynn. On deck, Nathan Church. Got to be very careful on how you go to win here. First pitch, high and inside, 1-0 count. Andres Munoz on the mound. Mason Wynn representing the Lou in the box. One-0 pitch, low and away. Slider 86 miles an hour there by Andres Munoz. 2 balls and no strikes to Mason Wynn. Bottom of the ninth, 3-2 Mariners, nobody on and 1 out. And we need the good Mooney. 2-0 pitch. Good frame job by Cal. Pitches outside of the zone. And if they challenge it, it probably would be overturned, but no challenge here by Mason Wynn. Kind of crazy that Gorman and Wynn are not taking advantage of ABS here late. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mason Wynn. 2-1 pitch. Beautiful pitch. Best one so far Four-seam fastball, 98-mile-an-hour high heat right in the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Mason Wynn. And, even if he can't get any strikeouts, find a way. Pop-ups, ground-outs, anything. But obviously strikeouts would give the most boost for his confidence, for sure. 2-2 pitch to Wynn. Big swing and a miss. Let's go. And so far, so good. This is the good Mooney in the first 7 pitches. I like it. But now we got to go to the last batter. And again, he's 0 for 3. Let's make it 0 for 4. He's been busy defensively, but hasn't got a hit yet. Nathan Church. This feels like we got this not necessarily in the bag, but as long as he doesn't have a meltdown here, we should be able to find a way. First pitch, takes a strike looking, high and away. This is the good Mooney. We've been waiting. 97-mile-an-hour high heat, 0-1 count. Here we go. 2 more strikes and this is over. Come on, Mooney. 0-1 pitch, low and away. Tries to get him to bite on the changeup, 90 miles an hour, but Church says not this time. 1 ball and 1 strike from Mooney to Church. Let's go. 1 out away from victory. This is huge. 1-1 pitch. Little dribbler. It gets past Cole Young. And the guy least likely to get a hit out of Gorman, Wynn, and Church. Church ends up getting the hit, but it's only a single. Just a little bit out of range from Cole Young there. Not his fault. Next up in the 8 hole, third baseman Ramon Urias. Come on, Mooney. Shut it down. Nice job by Church, not going 0 for 4 today. Every batter is always hungry to get that 1 hit if they're 0 for 3. First pitch to Urias, takes a strike looking, high and inside. Four-seam fastball, 99 miles an hour by Mooney, 0-1 count. And even though he gave up the hit, this is the good Mooney. Overall, he's been really good here on his location and his confidence and his aura and his vibe on the mound. 0-1 pitch, little dribbler towards third base and foul. We are 1 strike away from victory. Come on. Slider, 86 miles an hour. We got Urias in an 0-2 count. Come on, Mooney. Bottom of the 9th inning. Runner at first with 2 outs. Find a way. 0-2 pitch. High and away. Four-seam fastball, 97 miles an hour. Just outside of that corner. Let's get it here. 1-2 pitch. Big swing and a miss, and the Mariners win. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Let's go. What a complete game. Fantastic job by George Kirby. Fantastic job by Brash. Fantastic job by Bizzardo. Fantastic job by Mooney. And a fantastic job by Cole Young, Randy Arosarena, and especially Josh Naylor with that big home run. The last hit that we had was in the 6th, but it was enough to get the job done. And this is a good feeling when you have your closer getting back to his dominant, normal self. Awesome game, man. And we got 2 early afternoon morning games tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. on the West Coast on Saturday and on Sunday. So hopefully we'll wipe the crust out of our eyes and we can try to win tomorrow. And then if we win tomorrow, then we can start talking about a sweep. This was a great game. And again, based on what happened in that last Athletic game, it definitely carried over to today. There is no doubt about that. Offense was good. Defense was good. Pitching was good. Bullpen overall, besides Gabe Spire, was good. And again, final score, Mariners 3, Cardinals 2. And when the Mariners win, what do? We fucking dance. Mariners win. Mariners win. Mariners win. Fuck yeah. Let's go. Huge victory. And again, remember, we are the worst team in baseball on the road since we haven't had a road game in quite some time. And feels good to get our second win on the road. And hopefully we'll be able to collect quite a few more. We got 2 more against the Cardinals. And then we go on the road to place the Twins. That won't be easy as well for a 3-game set. Then we come home to play the Royals and then the Braves. So I'm excited to be able to see where we're going to go. Kirby gets the win to improve to 4-2. My man. Palante gets the loss, and guess what? Mooney gets a save for number 3 on the year. Let's go. We love it. Let's go over the stats before we leave here today. And we'll go over the Cardinals stats first, and then we'll go over the Mariners. All right, JJ Weatherholt went 1 for 4. Ivan Herrera goes 1 for 3. Alec Burleson 0 for 3. Jordan Walker, a surprising 0 for 4. Nolan Gorman 2 for 4. Mason Wen was really good today, 2 for 4. Nathan Church 1 for 4. Ramon Urias 0 for 4. And then Jose Fermin 1 for 3. And let's go, obviously, with the Mariners. JP Crawford 0 for 2. Cal Raleigh 0 for 3. Julio 0 for 4, and we still won the game, which is huge. Josh Naylor 1 for 3 with a home run. Randy Arozarena started the game with a double and ended up setting the tone for us, 1 for 4. Luke Raley went 0 for 2. Ralph Snyder went 0 for 1. Obviously, doing the splits when they went to a left-handed pitcher. Dominic Canzone 1 for 3. Cole Young had that RBI when Randy was at third base, and he goes 1 for 4. And then Leo Ribas 0 for 4. And then the final line for George Kirby, 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 81 pitches, 54 strikes, 2.97 ERA, and he ends up improving to 4-2 with one of the best records on the Mariners here. And again, it feels really good, to see your closer, who normally is a top 5, top 10 guy, actually look like a top 5, top 10 guy. Great job. Marcos in the building. What's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do on your way out. Shout out to all the people that like, sub, donated, commented, and shared. And again, we got 2 early morning games starting on Saturday and Sunday morning at 11:15 a.m. So mark your schedule accordingly. I'll be up early, walking the pup, and I'll be up at probably like 6 or 7 a.m. Shout out to the Blazers playing the Spurs right now. My best friend Justin and his dad are there. No Wemby with the concussion. The series is tied 1-1. Hopefully the Blazers can get the victory on the Spurs. His birthday is tomorrow, so it'd be a great early birthday present if they can get the victory today, as well as obviously the Mariners just got a victory here today, and hopefully we'll get a victory on his birthday tomorrow as well. Well, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys. This has been a real satisfying win. I think for us Mariner fans, even though it was kind of one of those grinded out games, but overall great pitching, great bullpen besides Spire, good hitting, even though it kind of tailed off after the 6th inning with only 4 hits. But again, we got the big home run out of Josh Naylor, and it shows you, when you get a player that ends up winning a game for you with an RBI single in the bottom of the ninth, sometimes that Uncle Mo and that momentum carries over to the next game, even with a day off in between. And Josh Naylor being the MVP, getting that big home run, right center, 418 feet in the top of the 6th to give us the 3-2 lead, and we never looked back. Way to be Josh Naylor. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very much. I hope you guys enjoyed the NFL draft, night 1 yesterday and night 2 today with rounds 2 and 3. Hopefully you guys picked up some players that you guys obviously appreciate and enjoy. And I'm really looking forward to game 2 in the set tomorrow at 11:15 a.m. Pacific here on the West Coast. And then obviously going to be 1:15 or 2:15 if you're in the Midwest or the East Coast. Look forward to hanging out with you guys tomorrow on an early morning game. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Final score, Mariners 3, Cardinals 2. And we get the victory in game 1 in the set. And again, this one feels good. We improved to 12-15, only 3 games below 500. Tridents up. Rick Riz is loving it. NWSF, we're loving it. We love you guys, and I am out. Tridents up. Go Mariners.